Well there, hello everyone, and welcome to the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show. It is Sunday, August 23rd, 2026. What does that mean? It means we're in the second day of our brand new master topic, which we'll get to in just a moment. If you're thirsty or hungry, feel free to go grab yourself something. I have an RO water here with some fresh lemon. Delicious. If this is your very first time here today, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you. And I want to say the words welcome from the bottom of my heart. If you've been here one time, 5, 10, 100, or maybe even more, I'd like to say thank you and welcome, but I'd also like to say the words welcome back. Yes, welcome back. It's always great to have everybody here that enjoys the quality and content that I produce. And so great to have everybody here. Really, really great to have everybody here with me. Don't forget to check out BelieveMeAchieve.com, of course, for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, which you can do after the show is over. Without any further ado, guys, let's kick this show off, all right? So become someone your future self can depend on. This is Series 5. And the granular topic is, of course, Series 5, Show 35, Episode number 2. Can you actually be trusted with more? Welcome, everyone, as I said, to the ever-popular Inspirations for Your Life show. I am John C. Morley. I am a serial entrepreneur. I'm an engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student at Montclair State University, a passionate lifelong learner, and so grateful now to be a published author. Before we officially get into the show, I want to give a shout out because today is Sunday. On Sundays and Thursdays, we give shout outs to local businesses in the area. And the reason we do this is we like to let them know what they do, thank them for being in business, but also ask them to go out to jcmacademy.com, click on the Contact Us button, and to learn what we do and to invite us into your shop or restaurant so we can do a live show. And then after that, of course, an author talk, author Q&A, and an author signing. Today, we're giving a shout out to Mocha & Co. They are actually open at 10 p.m. tonight. They're in Englewood, New Jersey. They have a very interesting type of shop that I can see here just from looking at it. Pretty nice looking. They're open Monday through Sunday. This is what's interesting. Monday through Saturday, 7 to 10, and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's really cool for, a coffee place, because a lot of times these places, they don't stay open very long. So the Yemeni coffee difference, this is what they're called. So according to their website, when their founder came to the United States from a family of Yemeni coffee farmers, he came with history and tradition, but also an extremely fine-tuned palate for exquisite coffee. It's safe to say they know coffee. All coffee plants in the world could call Yemen home. But on the mountains slopes of some of Yemen's most famous coffee towns, Jaffa, Haima, and Ismaili, to name a few, ancient plants still grow ancient flavors. In some cases, these plants are over 1,000 years old and boast a flavor hearkening not just to the difference of a place, but a difference in time, preserved through family tradition, but also through some very ferociously steep mountains that keep Yemeni coffee incredibly rare. So they have an interesting menu. When I was just looking at their menu here, they have traditional Yemeni coffee with tea brewed with unique spices. They have a brew bar. They have signature lattes. They have refreshers, tea brewed with unique spices. Matcha lattes, drinks made with rich espresso and steamed milk. Frozen blends, Yemeni coffee and tea brewed with unique spices. Espresso bar, drinks made with rich espresso and steamed milk. Comfort bar, Yemeni coffee and tea brewed with unique spices. Sounds pretty interesting if you ask me. So again, they have some interesting coffees. I was looking to see if they had anything else. It looks like I can, at least here on the site, I just see coffee. I don't know if they actually have anything else beside coffee. They may. Mocha Company is a franchise. And so it's basically called a Yemeni cafe. And really interesting to see the kinds of stuff that they have. They have like a shop too, and some other things. So pretty interesting. You may want to check this out if you're in the market for some foreign coffee. And Mocha and Co., I hope you'll come over to jcmacademy.com, click on the Contact Us button, and invite us in to do a live show at your place. All right, guys. So our master topic of the week, as I said, is become someone your future can actually depend on. And today, I'm asking a question that might make you think differently about the opportunities you're asking for. Can you actually be trusted with more? That's the big question. Can you be trusted with more? What goes through your head when I say those things? Like when I say that, what really comes through your head? Does anything come through your head, or does it kind of like just stop? I mean, seriously, does anything really go through your head when I say that, or do you be like, I don't know, I'm not really sure. Like, what does that actually mean? I think that's an important thing for us to realize. So let's dive into this a little bit deeper, okay? Uh, so again, a big welcome to everyone to the Inspiration Your Life show, and I want to let you know that each week we come up with a brand new master topic, and then on top of that, we basically have a granular topic every day that links into the main master topic. So become someone your future can depend on. Can you actually be trusted with more? That's the question we're asking. Now, a lot of people want more responsibility, authority, influence, freedom, control. But before asking for more, answer this one question. What are you doing with what you already been given now? Responsibility doesn't just test your ability, it reveals your character. 30 points that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. Responsibility reveals character, talking about what you do if you were in charge, let's say, and making it easy. Actually being in charge shows who you are. Earn trust before asking for authority. A title gives you authority. Only consistent behavior earns trust. Handle small responsibilities well. How you treat today's tasks determines whether anyone trusts you with tomorrow's. Stop wanting influence without accountability. If your voice matters, you own what happens when people act upon it. Be careful with what others entrust to you. Information, money, projects, confidence. Treat each as the risk it represents to the giver. Make reliability visible through action. Don't claim it. Show up, follow through, communicate, and don't require reminders. Respect access that has been given to you. Access is a privilege, not entitlement. Don't confuse being let in with being owed a seat. Don't misuse somebody else's confidence. Trust takes years to build and seconds to destroy. Protect what isn't yours to share. Become dependable under pressure. Anyone looks reliable when things are easy, guys. Yeah. Real dependability shows up when the plan falls apart. Take ownership when something goes wrong. Don't hunt for someone to blame. Ask, what happened? What can I control? What needs fixing? What changes next time? Stop hiding behind your position. A title should raise your accountability, not shield you from it. I think a lot of people miss that, right? They miss that whole concept and they don't necessarily know what to do. Treat responsibility as something earned. It's often evidence someone believes in you. And I think when you learn that, it's like, oh my gosh, I actually get this. This makes sense. And now I'm able to do something pretty powerful, right? That's a pretty cool thing. But you have to first understand where it comes from, okay? Where it comes from, okay? Where does it come from? What does it mean to you? Like, what does it mean? I think it just makes people think differently. I think that would make anyone change hopefully their trajectory. Okay. Prove your current responsibility is safe in your hands before asking for more. A lot of people I know want more, but they can't even handle what they have now. So because of that, it's like, oh my gosh, what do they do? What are they supposed to do? And again, that's a very big thing to think about. If we can't be responsible for what we have now, how can we dare ask for more? Right? How can we dare ask for more? I think that's an important thing for us to all realize right now. How can we ask for more? How? How do we ask for more? And more is about how it makes us better. I think that's something that a lot of people miss. But I think it's something we really have to pay attention to in our lives and everybody else's lives. Learn to keep confidential things confidential. I know so many people, you'd share confidential things and then they have to blow them out just because it's who they are. Doing that destroys the trust. Okay. It destroys the trust, and that's a big problem. And then nobody wants to come back and share anything with you, unfortunately. Right. I think that's a problem that many people face each day is that, they're trying to act cool, but then they didn't realize that they blew their responsibility. And you don't get a second chance to show people you're responsible. That's the thing. Knowing something doesn't mean it belongs in the next conversation. Knowing how and when to keep your mouth shut, I think that's a very positive thing. But, you know, maybe when you're younger and people said stuff to you and you're like, oh, well, that's no big deal. I used to know somebody I would share something with, and it was private, confidential, just something I didn't want to get out. And 5 seconds later, it was blasted. So a good way to get something out, I would say, look, this is a secret. Don't tell anybody. And in 5 minutes, the whole thing went out. Don't tell anybody. We've got cookies, and the cookies are only $2. But don't tell anybody because they're going to be $5 after 3 o'clock. Bam, it went right out. Knowing when not to speak matters as much as knowing what to say and when to say it. This comes down to your personality. It comes down to respect, okay? And these are things, again, a lot of people, they miss it. They miss it. Ladies and gentlemen, learn to make decisions people can trust. Yeah, make decisions people can trust. Not just something you're going to do for today, guys. Something you're going to do time in and time again. Why is trust so important? I think trust is so important because if you're not trusting, then other people won't trust you. Okay. That's a very important thing. If you lost trust with somebody, would you give them a chance to do it again? I probably wouldn't. It could take not just hours and days and weeks, months, maybe years to build trust. Why would you destroy that in the fraction of a second? The question is why? Why would you destroy that? That's the question. Build a reputation for weighing facts, not ego. Convenience or emotion. Don't use authority to feed your ego. If a power dynamic changes how you treat people, it didn't create that flaw. It exposed one already in you. The power that you're given, maybe when you're in a role, that power exposes who you already are. You're already doing things like that before the power. But now that you have this power and you abuse it, it's saying something about your character. Okay. Remember, that access creates obligation. More access to information, resources, or people means more responsibility to use it as well. I say something a lot, guys. You know what that is? And that is just because we can doesn't mean we should. Just because we can does not mean we should. And I think that's a real big one that so many people, they're like, well, of course we can do it. Maybe it's not the best thing to do. Okay. Maybe that's what it's about. Maybe. Maybe you're missing a point. I think it's about recognizing who we are and then understanding that whole concept that just because we can doesn't mean we should. Learn to protect what has been placed in your care. Guardians have trusted things with you because they believe that you're a person of high character and moral regard. Don't make them regret that they decided to choose you. A relationship, a project, someone's confidence, a reputation. Guard it with your life. Guard it with your life. Okay? I think that's an important piece, guys. Guard it with your life. All right? Become trustworthy when nobody's checking. You know, I think the easiest way to be trustworthy is when everybody's watching you. Okay, you know you're on stage or you're on camera or somebody's just checking up on you. You know that you want to keep doing the right thing because people are watching. But when you want to keep doing the right thing, regardless of whether somebody is watching or not, that is showing your character and your character of your morality and your ethics comes through. And what you do in private shows in public. The real test, ladies and gentlemen, is what you do when no one will ever know you did it. Use influence to improve situations. Don't exploit it with your influence. Don't let your ego become the tool that could be a reckon to you. Okay? These are important things. Bring clarity, solve problems and challenges, connect people, move good ideas forward. Stop confusing status with leadership. I know lots of people, being an Eagle Scout for many, many years. I remember when I was in a patrol, that's what they call it. And I remember this one person who had an ego. And then when I was in his patrol, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like, you know what? And he abused his patrol leadership on me. So much to the fact that he kept giving me KP duty, which is kitchen patrol. But he wasn't being fair about it. And guess what happened? Other leaders learned, well, why is John on KP? Oh, because he's a jerk, and he didn't listen to me. And you just gave him KP? Yeah, for the whole week. That's kind of rotten. Yeah, well, What about the other guys? Oh, well, I didn't do it to them. Don't you think that's a little unfair? And as that happened, something changed. I crossed the line of becoming a leader. And when somebody in my patroller squad stepped out, I wanted to help them. I didn't want to just damage them and give them KP. And I say, look, guys, there's some duties here. KP's not fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate them. No one's going to have KP more than once on a trip. Status is your spot on the card. Interest on the card. Can you believe that? I think that's a real important thing for you to actually understand. I think that's an important part that many people miss. They miss that. They miss that whole concept. Leadership is what happens because you're in the room. The trust, judgment, and responsibility you bring. Let responsibility sharpen your judgment. Each responsibility teaches you what needs urgency, when to speak or listen, when to move fast or slow down. Be accountable without being chased. If people have to keep checking on you, that's not real ownership. Close your own loops. Think about who your decisions affect: employees, clients, family, colleagues. Leadership means weighing impact beyond yourself. Use power carefully. Money, information, authority, access, expertise, influence, all are power. The more you hold, the more carefully you must use it. Earn the next opportunity through this one. Don't neglect what's in front of you while chasing what's next. Handle this one so well, the next becomes obvious. Become someone others can safely rely on. Can people trust your word, your judgment, your presence, even when things get hard? Carry responsibility without becoming arrogant. More trust should bring more humility, not superiority. Your decisions now affect more people. I think we've got to realize that. Okay. I think that's a very important thing for us to understand. All right. And that's important, guys. Okay. And I say that to you because it's something most people don't get. Okay. I think that's really the most important thing that I want to share with you. And now that we know that we could be more responsible, make trust worth giving you. Protect what's given, keep commitments, communicate clearly, own your mistakes. More responsibility requires more character. As stakes rise, small lapses in judgment cost more. Build character alongside skill. Become someone people can trust with more. Don't answer based on what you hope you do. Look at the evidence, Do you keep commitments, protect confidences, take ownership, communicate, stay dependable? Under pressure, use influence, responsibility, and hold your standards when no one's watching? Or do you just do it when people are keeping up with you? Just curious about that comment. What does it mean to you in your life? How do you treat those kinds of things? That tells you if you're ready. Most people think they're ready, but you know what happens? They're not. They think they're ready, but they're really not ready. They're really not ready. And I think that's something that most people don't know. And you don't know until you know. You know what I mean? That's the whole key. You don't know until you know, but sometimes it becomes all about an ego. Okay? It becomes all about an ego. That's a problem, guys. It's a very, very big problem. One of the like most people are going to miss. So let's kind of think about that for a minute. I get that the ego might seem like it satisfies the community. What does that mean to you? 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 This is what I want to know. What does it mean to you? And if you don't know what it means, then maybe you're going to be like, how do I make this change? How do I make this change? Right? How do I make this change? How do I make this change? And you're kind of like, you're doing something because you're doing it for the reason, right? So I want to get ready to close the show out here today. Maybe you want something more right now, a bigger role, more freedom, more influence, more money, a bigger project. Instead of asking, why haven't I got my opportunity yet? Ask, what can I do with what I have right now that proves I'm ready for more? You don't control every opportunity or every decision someone else makes, but you control who you're becoming while you wait. You can grow more reliably, sharpen your judgment, communicate better, own things faster, protect people's confidence, and use whatever influence you already have to make things better. Trust isn't just given. Your behavior teaches people whether they can give it to you, whether they should delegate it to you. Once they learn they can, that reputation becomes so powerful for you. They'll know you'll show up. They'll tell the truth, protect what needs protecting, stay when things get uncomfortable, take responsibility when things go wrong, and hold your standards even when no one's checking. When no one's checking, that's a real mouthful there. Ladies and gentlemen, what is that? That's character. This week's topic is become someone your future self can depend on. Bigger opportunities bring bigger responsibilities, so prepare your character, not just your resume. Don't ask for authority. Become worthy of it. Don't chase status. Build reliability. Don't demand influence. Demonstrate judgment. Use today's opportunity to prepare for tomorrow's. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining me for another amazing episode of the Inspirations for Your Life show. And one last question I have for all of you. If someone watched how you handled things, what would you already have? Would they trust you with more? If yes, keep strengthening that character. If not, now is your time to change and begin anew. Handle the small things well. Protect what's entrusted to you. Be accountable without being chased. Use influence carefully. Take ownership when things go wrong. Make your word mean something. Become someone people can trust with more. Please go check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. Take care, everyone, and be well.